Cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. Before I begin, may I ask how much time I have remaining? Thank you. Your Honor, may I proceed?
Yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Funt. My name is Noah Hoffman, and I'll be asking you a few questions today on behalf of the state of Iowa. I'd like to start off by discussing your latest production series, the Fear Springs Eternal. It's true that through this series you've been carefully planning and creating scenes to place unsuspecting bystanders in fearful situations.
Yes, I've spent weeks planning the events.
And you secretly record these scenes?
Secretly? Oh, yes, I do, I'm sorry.
So the purpose of your videos is to capture fear?
Yes, and I hope that everyone can share in our investigation.
So, Mr. Funt, in doing so, you routinely push the boundaries of society and humanity?
Well, trust me, I know the limits of society, but every time I try to top myself.
But, Mr. Funt, you do push the boundaries, do you not?
Well, what I do, I try. I guess so.
Yes. So, Mr. Funt, it's true that law enforcement has repeatedly shown up to your productions?
Yes.
And Officer Strad, in particular, has repeatedly expressed concern to you?
Well, yes, she's been there on several occasions.
Nope, you don't particularly like Officer Strad, do you, Mr. Funt?
Well, she's been trying to shut me down, and she wouldn't even listen to what I have to say to her.
So, Mr. Funt, isn't it true that you have routinely called Officer Strad a Philistine?
Well, she doesn't understand my artwork. See, I tried to explain to her.
Mr. Funt, redirecting you back to my question, you have called her a Philistine?
Yes, I have.
So you wouldn't be in the routine practice of referring to your friends as Philistines, would you, Mr. Funt?
No, I have not called my friends as Philistine before.
So, with Mr. Funt, with this in mind, I'd like to discuss the events of May 11th. This is the day that you organized your zombie chase.
Yes, my undead orchestra, if you will.
And as your actor, Ashton Michael, was chasing Devin Basketball down the street, she tripped and broke her ankle.
A terrible accident.
So you were aware that Devin Basketball had been injured in one of your pranks prior to July 2nd?
Yes, it was.
And you were aware that her family threatened to sue you?
Yes, I had my employees work out an arrangement with her.
So, Mr. Funt, you believe you run a productive business operation, do you not?
Yes, I believe so.
And do you believe you have a group of skilled administrative staff?
Yes.
So is it routine business for you to not show up to a meeting set for you by your staff?
See, I guess I have a lot of stuff on my plate. I mean, I'm a busy man. That's all I have to say.
So you're saying that you knew that the basketballs were coming that day?
No, I didn't. Not at all.
All right, Mr. Funt. So let's discuss what happened on this day that the basketballs came to your office.
Yes.
They came into your lobby on July 2nd, 2013?
Yes, they did.
And then you lured them into your elevator, correct?
Well, I guess I wouldn't say lured so much, but I guess they went to the elevator.
Well, so you did lure them, Mr. Funt?
Well, it was all part of the plan for them to be, I guess, taken away from the elevators themselves. And
so, Mr. Funt, what you're saying is you put fake out-of-order signs in the real elevators, correct?
Yes, I did.
So the only option for them was to use your elevator?
Well, there was stairs.
Well, you were aware that Devin Basketball had broken her ankle, correct?
Yes, I was.
Thank you. So let's talk about what happened once they were lured into your elevator.
Let's.
So the Basketballs came in and then Ashton Michael entered?
Yes, as planned.
And you directed Ashton to whisper "no escape" to make the situation even more frightening?
That is how it was supposed to go.
So this is when Devin Baskerville noticed Ashton, screamed, and then Charlene Baskerville clutched her chest, gasped for air, and collapsed to the ground?
Yes, it is when I thought she had fainted.
So you say you thought she had fainted?
Yes, that was my first impression.
So then Ashton Michael went to render aid to Charlene Baskerville, correct?
Yes, he did.
And you were furious that one of your actors would find the kindness in their heart to help someone laying, who you presume to be unconscious on the floor of your production?
Well, I think you're misunderstanding me here. My motives were, I thought that she had fainted. She was perfectly fine. And she'd wake up and everything would be okay. And I was mad that Ashton would break character because my impression was she was fine and everything would be okay.
Well, Mr. Funt, you would presume she had fainted, correct?
Yes.
So isn't it possible that someone who had fainted could have easily hit their head, falling unconscious to the ground?
Well, she seemed fine at the time.
Well, so you were furious with Ashton Michael despite this fact?
Yes, I was.
So, Mr. Funt, isn't it true that you rushed down to the lobby not to assist Charlene Baskerville, but rather to fire Ashton Michael?
Well, see, I thought I thought she was perfectly fine.
All right, Mr. Funt.
I was mad at Ashton, yes.
So this is when you realized that Charlene Baskerville had indeed died?
Yes, it was a terrible terrible
So the
thing.
EMTs and Officer Stroud arrived,
Yes, they did.
and Officer Stroud came to interview you.
Yes, she did.
Now, Mr. Funt, you didn't particularly pay much attention to this Philistine, now did you?
Well, see, I was still concerned with my artwork. I had to get it to the composers, I guess you could say, and I was a bit distracted.
So do you routinely not pay attention to law enforcement, Mr. Funt?
That's not my point here. I'm trying to. Well, this is my job. It's my life. I mean, it's not like I have any disrespect towards.
All right, Mr.
Officer,
Funt.
Officer, yes.
Now, it's true that you were more concerned about getting your film off to the studio to edit it rather than the deceased lying dead in your elevator, Mr. Funt?
Well, see, at the time, I didn't know that she was dead.
Mr. Funt, you did just state that when you rushed down to the lobby, you realized she was dead?
It wasn't until later.
Mr. Funt, you just said that when you got to the lobby, you realized that she had died?
Well, I'm meaning when she later, I came to realize that she had indeed perished.
And so you realized this before Officer Stroud came to interview you?
Well, I guess I got the word that
yes.
you get it.
So, Mr. Funt, you claim to have seen many reactions to fear, correct?
Yes, through my works, I have seen countless reactions.
And you claim to be a student of the human condition?
Well, you see, what people, I guess,
Mr. Funt, redirecting you back to my question, you do consider yourself a student of the human condition?
yes, I would say that.
So with all this in mind, you still claim that you would not be able to foresee something like this happening?
Well, I guess I never, nothing like this has ever happened in any of those reactions I've ever seen.
Now, Mr. Funt, it's true that you previously said great art sometimes takes sacrifice.
Oh, yes, I have.
And it's true that to this day, sadly, the life of Charlene Baskerville has been your ultimate sacrifice, hasn't it?
Well, it was terrible that it happened, but I don't think I should be blamed for this terrible misunderstanding.
Even though, Mr. Funt, Charlene Baskerville died, all so that you could capture your self-proclaimed video art.
Yes.
Thank you. Your Honors, I have no further questions at this time.
Is there good any redirect?
Yes, Your Honor. May I proceed? Did you at any time plan for the Baskervilles to be the subjects in your Fear Springs Eternal?
No, I never have anyone particular in mind, and they just happened upon that day.
Now, in Cross, you were asked about not immediately rendering assistance to the deceased. How do you feel that helping her sooner would have helped her?
Well, see, it was only till afterward that I was told that she had died suddenly, and I don't see how cutting the scene could have helped change the outcome.
On Cross, you were also asked about Ashton's firing. Could you tell us more about that?
Well, you see, I was meant to break character. I thought she had fainted, and then she was going to be okay. And I guess I never ended up firing him.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
Cross?
Yes, Your Honor. May I proceed?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Funt, it's true that you never attempted to assist Charlene Baskerville?
Well,
Objection, Your Honor. This is beyond the scope of my redirect.
Your Honor. Would you like me to ask the question, Mr. Funt?
please.
It's true that you never attempted to assist Charlene Baskerville?
Well, you see, after Officer Stroud had interviewed me, I was still busy. I'm afraid that otherwise I would have.
Mr. Funt, even before Officer Stroud arrived, when you realized she had died, you did not assist her whatsoever, did you, Mr. Funt?
I didn't think she was dead at the time.
Okay.
It wasn't until Officer Stroud had gotten there.
So you did realize when you came down to the lobby that she was dead?
Well, it wasn't until Officer Stroud had arrived.
Mr. Funt, you previously testified that you realized when you came down to the lobby that she was dead, correct?
I'm sorry. What I meant to say was that I hadn't realized until Officer Stroud had arrived, and that that she had informed me that she had died.
Okay, so Mr. Funt, just reiterating, you did never assist Charlene Baskerville, or attempt to do so, correct?
Well,
Yes or no, please, Mr. Funt?
no, I'm afraid.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.